Welcome back, friends, to the shop. Today we're going to be taking a look at what is probably the most unusual axe hatchet that I have ever seen. When I ordered this, I was under the assumption, I just glanced at it really quickly, that this was forged in Australia. And so I had this whole skit plan for you guys where we were going to do an unboxing. I was going to open up the lid. I had this fake plastic spider that was going to jump out and scare everyone because, as you know, or maybe you don't, any rock or piece of wood that you turn over in the bush in Australia hides something underneath there that will try to kill you. So I thought we would do something funny with that. And then upon closer reflection or inspection, I realized it was made in Austria. Well, that is an entirely different kettle of fish there, because our Austria friends don't quite enjoy the same sense of humor as our Australian friends. And they do struggle sometimes with sarcasm and satire. So let's just keep it right to the facts here. Let's take a look at this very unique axe and then give it a thorough testing. Don't worry, friends, there's still plenty of time to offend lots of people before this video is over. So what we have here, it's man's attempt to come up with a better mousetrap. Will it ever end? And what we're calling this here, what they're calling here, is the Terrifics. And that's it doesn't exactly roll off the tongue there. I would imagine it's a play on words for it's terrific. Is that what it is? For indoor use? Does that mean we can't use it on the outdoors? Easy handling, top safety, hand forged. All right, and some recommendations there. So you can see here that this is not suitable for women, teens, or I can only assume that that's East Coast guy. This is made for men. So what do we have here? Let's get to it. Well, the first thing I noticed when I took it out of its box is it's heavy. It is incredibly heavy. Look at the mass of this thing. I mean, it must weigh 3 pounds or better. Very unique design. It comes with a what is that, like a little display case of some sort of hardwood that you can put it in? Look at that. So what we have basically is a super heavy hand-forged splitting axe. Look at the width of it there, with that they've welded a steel handle onto it. A lot of work went into this, a big nut on the back to hold this plexiglass handle that is supposed to protect your hands from splitting kindling. Remember, not for outdoor use. I don't really know why. We've got 3 screws there, both sides. I mean, it's beautifully made, no question. I think that it's hickory. They said it's a hickory handle there. Not that that would really matter, because how much flex do you think there's going to be in this? None. But it is a chunk, and my goodness, it's heavy. You guys can join me over here at the stove. Now, typically in the mornings, I'll come in first thing and I'll get the fire started, just so you have a little bit of warmth here in the shop, and I'll split kindling. My favorite is the little Grand Force Brooks, the hand hatchet. That's typically what I'll split, but it's such a small hatchet that I need to have things that are pretty small. So what I'm thinking and rest assured, Austria, we are indoors, so we're not breaking any of your mini rules. What I'm thinking is with the Terrifics, because it's so heavy, my guy might be able to split full-size wood just by hand. It makes me nervous having my hand that close to the wood and all that. I'm not used to that. I know that plexiglass is going to protect me, but it's unnatural. Well, being it has such a short handle, it's hard to get a lot of speed. Boy, it's heavy. It's weird. I don't like having my hand that close to the wood. I can see why they say not for East Coast guys. That takes a bit of hand strength there. This will put it to the test. This is a piece of ponderosa, and it's a limb. This is something I wouldn't typically attempt to split. I would just throw this in as whole, because this limb wood is so dense. So, it's disconcerting. I can't get over having my hand that close to it. It's kind of fun to use, because you can be sloppy knowing that you're not going to smash your hand. It gets after it, no doubt. All right, guys, what did we learn here? Well, that fire's getting hot. Okay, well, once again, I mean, of course, we saw that it definitely works. But once again, I think we're looking for solutions to problems that have already been solved, right? I mean, is there really anything that works better than a small hand axe or a heavy hatchet to split kindling? No. And also, the problem with this, now if this were the same cost as a normal axe that you could go buy, you know, something like Husqvarna for 60, 70 bucks, I'd say, yeah, you'd put it by the chopping block, have it inside only, of course, so you could split things easily, not for your wife, but if you're a strong man. Yeah, that would be fine, but the problem with this is the cost, which is completely, well, it's easy for me to say. Like, it's easy to say, and I do it, and you guys do it all the time. You know, we'll feature some product, and someone will come up and say, oh, I could build that for the $20 sawmill, for example. I could build that myself for a fraction or half of that. No, you can't. No, you can't. Not when you figure your time and going and driving around and sourcing the materials. I mean, you have a whole day in that. Just the hours for just the R&D, right? You can't do it. So stop pretending that you can. You could say, oh, I could make that for less money. No, you can't. You can't fire up the forge. You can't buy the welder. You develop all the skills, go source a piece of hickory, drill and tap all this stuff. So when you look at it that way, it starts to justify the cost, right? $180, I think this was. And that to me is, it's just too much money. I would never buy it just because of that, for that very reason. Now, I'm not saying that the guys, or there's not that much invested in it. You know, maybe there is, maybe there isn't. But I mean, there's a lot of work. You're talking about a hand-forged head. It's been sharpened, it's been drilled and tapped. I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into this. And when you start looking at it that way, you're like, okay, yeah, maybe it does. You know, shipping it, it's heavy, all that. So that's what it is. Would I recommend it? No. I mean, for a third the price, you can buy a splitting axe and you can essentially do the same thing. But it's kind of an interesting design, and I thought I'd share it with you. And it definitely does work. Question is will it be here on the chopping block in a year from now? You know, that's because you kind of, sometimes you look at things and you think, oh, it's, you know, that's going to work really good. And then as you use it for a while, you start to realize it's kind of a gimmick. Well, that's probably about all the time we have for today. I've got an important announcement. There's something we're doing that's very different, that I've never done before. Jack and I will be streaming on Twitch tomorrow night at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Now, why am I streaming on Twitch? What are we streaming on Twitch? Well, so Jack is really into computers. He likes to play computer games. And what I was finding, you know, maybe a year ago or so, you know, when he has his game time in the evening, I was kind of being left out, you know, because I didn't really understand it. You know, I haven't played video games since the 2600 Atari when I was like 12, right? I mean, I really just never grew up playing video games. So I thought, well, I can either not understand it and not be part of or an experience that we can share together, or I can attempt to try it and be involved in his life and try to understand, you know, why he likes this and be around him, right? Because we don't have our kids around us very long, so it's important that I don't just push my interests on him, but I also explore his interests as well. I think it's only fair. We've got to remember that our kids are people too. They're not like little copies of us. They have their own desires and their own interests, right? So I thought, well, I might as well join him on this. So I tasked him with the job. He's put everything together. He's set up, we got 2 gaming laptops, we've got the microphones, we got the webcams and all of that, and we are going to be tomorrow night streaming on Twitch. You can find us, I think it's Twitch TV/Wranglerstar at 5, and how long it'll go, I don't know. We don't have fast enough internet here to Twitch, so we've got a space in town where we can go to on Thursdays. That's going to be our gaming night, and we will be streaming. So Jack will be picking the games. It's going to be sad because I don't know really how to play these games very well. So anyway, come and join us. You can laugh at me. It's going to be a bloodbath, I can imagine, because he's picking an aggressive game, which you'll find out tomorrow, that I have very, very little experience at. So So yeah, we'll be doing that Thursday nights at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, streaming on Twitch. Jack will be streaming on his channel. I'll be streaming on my channel on Twitch. I think Jack will take like highlight clips from the video, anything that funny happened, and upload them onto his channel. We'll see how it goes. But tomorrow night will be our first one. We've got everything ready. We'll hopefully the stream will go well, and you might come over and hang out and say hi, and see how that goes. So thanks for watching. Keep us in your prayers. May God bless you and your families, and we'll see you guys on the next video.